I remember this one town that we were in, Tifton, Georgia. It's a small town. That was one of those towns that kind of seemed very segregated, and the elders weren't really tracting on the other side of town because it was pretty scary. Almost, I mean, it was very poverty stricken. A lot of projects, a lot of ghetto, and missionaries weren't so much well received on that side. So when me and my first companion got into that area, we whitewashed the area. That was like our first place we wanted to go because there hadn't been any work put in there. So we ended up going down into that area, and it was weird because I mean we'd wave at people and people wouldn't wave at us. We'd knock on doors and people were, intimidated by us because they weren't used to seeing that many white people down in that area, And I mean, we'd knock on doors and some people, I mean, you'd hear the door slam and then people run through the house and you hear the back door slam and then the back door open and someone running down the street. And we'd have to yell out, "Hey, we're not the police," because a lot of people didn't even know we were missionaries. They thought we were the police. And sometimes they'd come back and be like, "Oh, okay, cool," But in that part of town, it was hard because people didn't know who we were, number one. But number two, they were afraid that we were law enforcement. So there was this basketball court that we called the drug corners because there was this ghetto basketball court in the middle of town. And on there was a house on every corner that sold drugs. We thought sold drugs. 100% they sold drugs. So we call it the drug corners. And that's where all like the gangster type dudes hung out. I mean, like the hood guys that you see in movies that are like, pretty intimidating, and they would all play basketball. And every time we'd walk by there, we would get some of the meanest looks I've ever seen. And so we were praying and we were thinking, we're like, man, what can we do to like build a relationship of trust in this area and have people at least know who we are, that we're, church people and not cops, So I thought about it. We prayed about it. And a few days after, I told my companion, I'm like, "Hey, when we go out today, wear your basketball shoes instead of your church shoes." He's like, "Okay." So we're wearing our full proselyting clothes. We got our name tags on. We got our ties on. We have our basketball shoes. And we walked down to this place we call it the drug corners. And, we're walking up to these guys. There must have been like 20 guys playing basketball or hanging around there. And we walked up and I stopped their game. And I said, "Okay, we got the next game." And they were like, "What?" And everybody stopped and they're like, "The white boys want to play basketball?" I'm like, "Yeah, we got the next game." So they stopped their game and they chose their best two. And I'm not a great basketball player, but my companion was pretty good. And we knew how to play team ball, So in the middle of the drug corners, we're playing basketball 2-on-2 against these guys, and they're trying to like dunk on us and they're trying to like, we're behind the back. And we're winning, I mean, we're playing team ball, putting it up. And every time that we like scored a point, it was like the project opened and people were flooding to this basketball court. There must have been like 200-300 people watching this basketball game. And every time that we scored a point, it's like people got louder and people are laughing and, cheering. And it was like the ghetto opened up and like everybody flooded to this place. And we ended up winning. And after that, I think I got a high five from everybody there, And after that, we went anywhere and everybody knew who we were. It's like, "Wait, you're the Mormon missionaries, right? You guys played basketball. Oh, come on, you guys thirsty?" It's like everybody knew who we were. It's like all the guys were there to play basketball. Every time we'd ride our bikes by, they're, waving at us, hollering at us. And it was like through that experience, it was playing basketball and necessarily wasn't like a spiritual experience. But we got into that part of town that people hadn't really connected with. And it was like, they trusted us. They knew who we were. They liked us. And it opened a lot of doors. And one of my, my best experiences in the mission came from a lady in that area. And I don't know that I would have ever reached her had we not like played basketball with these guys in the middle of the ghetto,